Hello and welcome back to another video, guys. Now, yeah, we're outside today. Change of scenery. It's beautiful weather here in the UK. I've had this video that I've been meaning to shoot for you guys for a while. So I thought, why not we come outside and do it? I forgot my hat, so apologies about the messy hair. This is why I wear a hat, guys. Okay? Yeah, it's a mess and it's long and it's horrible. But today, we are talking about movies, of course. A lot of these questions are movies, but I put a thing out on my Instagram page, the Movie Bug Instagram page, to send in some questions. This is why you guys should be following the Movie Bug page if you're not already. Little plug there. Link in the description to the Movie Bug Instagram page. If you want to take part in these videos and get your questions answered live here on a video, then I recommend going following, because I'll put up on my story, hey, ask me a question, do it. And it could pop up right here, and your name will be here, and your question will be here, and I'll answer it. So make sure you go over, follow that, link in the description. But anyway, I got a few questions in. I'm not going to answer all of them. I've picked the ones that I thought I would answer, and we're going to give it a bash. I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 questions here. So let's get started. So the first one up, of course, the filmmaker, Lucas, who is going to be on my stream today, tomorrow, or he could have already been on. I don't know when I'm going to upload this video, but he's on my stream this week, so it's very exciting. We all know him, we all love him. Favourite and or near criterion you own in quality of film and packaging. Now, packaging wise, I that's hard, because you know I can't include the Godzilla set, surely. So I'm going to take the Godzilla set out of it because it's an easy pick. Funny enough, I watched this film for the first time this week, and that is Roma. And the packaging for that is great because you get a big, thick book. So I'm sort of tempted to go with that, but I'm not. I'm actually going to go with Dazed and Confused, because you also get a nice, big, thick book with that. And I love the die-cut cover. Quality of film, it's really hard. I really, really want to say Marriage Story, because I think that is such a beautifully written movie, wonderfully acted. Every time I put it on, I am in awe of how well made and constructed that film is. And then I also own Parasite in the Criterion range now as well. Thanks to my very good friend James Larpin. But I've got to go with the Grand Budapest Hotel by Mr. Wes Anderson. I just absolutely adore that film. It's my favourite Wes Anderson film, and it would probably make my top 20 films of all time. I think it is brilliant. Anyway, thank you so much for sending in the question, Lucas. Next up, we have Jordan, future boy, who, again, I've got to say thank you to this guy. He's going to be on my stream later. I think I've got you booked in, Jordan. I can't remember whether it's in June or July, but I've got it written down. But he'll be appearing on my stream soon. Of course, all the way over in Canada. Canada. I don't know what I'm on about. And he has a very interesting question here. Favorite Disney animated villain from the classic animation, i.e. The Lion King. That was really hard, because I do love Scar, because Jeremy Irons does a fantastic job voicing him. But favorite villain. So it's a really tricky one. That I kind of want to say Captain Hook, because as a kid I just loved him. He's a pirate, got a hook, cool hat, cool moustache, gets eaten by a crocodile and lives, gets eaten by an octopus and lives. I mean, the guy's pretty awesome. Trying to think. I like Ursula, I guess. Off the top of my head, I think I'm going to stick to my guns here and say Captain Hook. He's awesome. So anyway, Jordan from Canada. Said it right this time. Don't know why I said it wrong there. Away with the fairies sometimes. Thank you so much for taking part. Next up, Jayhawk 11. Question. Will you be going to the cinema, on the 17th? If so, what will you be watching? I'll be watching Spirit. Well, the 17th. Did I go on the 17th? I can't remember. I can't remember if I went on the 17th or not. But I have been to the cinema twice now since they reopened. I went back to see Godzilla vs. Kong because I knew I'd want to see that film because, wow, the spectacle of that movie on the big screen is incredible. And I can say it did not disappoint. The film is what it is. I've reviewed it here on the channel. I've talked about it a couple times in my end of the month video and, here, there, and everywhere. But the action sequences when you've got these two huge titans fighting on the big screen is incredible. The visuals are stunning. And I love what the director done here, because with King of the Monsters, every time Godzilla would come up to fight Ghidorah or Mothra, it would cut to the humans half the time. And we don't want to see the humans. We want to see these big monsters fight. This movie didn't cut near as much. On the big screen, it looked fantastic. I also went to see Disney's new film, Cruella, which surprised the hell out of me. I thought this was going to be a throwaway movie, but it was actually really good. That was really good to see on the big screen. And then this weekend, I should hopefully be seeing A Quiet Place Part 2 and The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. However, luckily for me, I've bought a car this week, so I should be picking that up this weekend as well. So if I pick that up, I might only get to see one of the movies this weekend. So time will tell, but should be seeing 2 more this weekend, hopefully. Anyway, Jayhawk, thank you so much for taking part. Then, Mr. Alex Pitt. I'm going to have to lean over a bit because he's got 2 questions, too. Can you guys see them? Okay. So, first one up. Do you reckon The Eternals has a shot at being nominated for Best Picture next year? Absolutely. Because of the director, yes. I always forget her name. I always have to get Ryan to remind me in the podcast, and I'm sure someone will leave it in the comments. I do know her name, it's just not coming to my head in the minute. But after Nomadland, and the trailer for The Eternals has now dropped, I think there's a very good chance that this film could be nominated. It looks fantastic. The cinematography looks gorgeous. There's a lot of great actors. And I have complete faith. Marvel are going to be after another award-winning film, especially now that Black Panther, the sequels might not have that approach, because obviously now without Chadwick, with him unfortunately passing, they're going to have to do a lot of, they're going to have to go with a completely different story as to what was probably mapped out when they made the first movie. So I think Marvel are going to push hard for this one. And if it's worthy of going up for Best Picture, I hope it does go up for Best Picture. And the Academy just doesn't snob it the other way because it's a Marvel film. Because I know they have a habit of doing that. Okay, so your other question, in all seriousness, what film are you looking forward to the most? Either later in 2021 or 2022? Well, I want to say Last Night in Soho by Edgar Wright, because that looks fantastic. Also, M. Night Shyamalan's new film, the trailer for that dropped, and that looked pretty good. And then Martin Scorsese's new film, because Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be in it. We've also got The French Dispatch. But at the minute, I do kind of want to go with The Eternals, because it looks stunning. It looks so good. So yeah, I'm gonna pick The Eternals, actually. And I'm sorry, as I say, Last Night in Soho, I want to say, is a close second. That film looks fantastic as well. But Alex, thank you so much for taking part, mate. Then, halves sign H. Half sign it? I'm guessing there's a couple words there mashed together. Here's your question. What's one film you feel needs more recognition in general? Keep up the good work. Thank you, mate. Thank you. A film that needs more recognition. This question was sort of catching me off guard because I always sort of end up saying the same ones. For me, one I always like to mention is Boy. The New Zealand film, one of Taika Waititi's first movies. It's absolutely great. And Criterion, god damn it, this is like right up your alley. This is a film that you guys should be putting out. One which I actually recently watched, and it will be in my end of the month video. Hang on, there's a hair, which is what keeps going across the camera lens. That's annoying. The little hair was causing the camera lens to go a bit funny there. I want to say A Night to Remember. because it seems to have got forgotten because of the Titanic movie. Even though the Titanic movie actually stole a lot of lines from A Night to Remember. Rear Window is one which I recently watched, which I'd never really heard people talk about before, especially when it comes to Hitchcock. Most people talk about Psycho. This film was great. So there's a couple which I think definitely deserve some more recognition. Thank you for taking part. Next up, Mr. Scott Anders 20. Hello, mate. This guy's got a great channel as well, I want to say. He's a very, very good supporter of mine. So, Scott, thank you so much for taking part, mate. And your question is, hello, James. What is your favourite game on the PlayStation 2? I'm going to be biased here because it's the one I always play 24/7 as a kid. My mum would sometimes buy me new games, and I'd still just play this one over and over and over and over. And the new one would remain sealed for months because I was just playing this game. And that is the original Star Wars Battlefront 2. Just love that game so much. I think I put more hours into that game than maybe anything else. The only game that could potentially beat it in terms of how many hours I've put into it is the brand new Star Wars Battlefront 2. So I gotta go with that one. Incredible game. I loved it. I love just getting Darth Maul or Grievous and just walking around and just slaughtering clones. It was great. But yeah, thank you so much for taking part, Scott. My final question is from Yoda the Jedi 42. Here's his question. If you could pick a doctor to travel with, who would it be? I know people are probably going to expect me to say David Tennant because he is my favourite doctor. I grew up with him. And there's a little piece of me inside that's actually a bit annoyed because I'm not going to pick him. But he's a very close second. His favourite doctor, he would be a blast to travel with, I reckon. But I'd really like to travel with Capaldi's doctor, just because I find him so fascinating. I could sit there and listen to that man talk for ages, because he's got such a great voice. So yeah, I'm going to pick the 12th Doctor, Mr. Peter Capaldi. Yeah, thank you for taking part. Here we go. There are some Instagram questions answered for you guys. Now, remember, I'll do more of these videos, so if you want to get a question answered live here on the channel, get your Instagram shouted out with your question shown, then make sure you go over to the Movie Bug Instagram page and give it a follow. So yeah, anyway, thanks so much for watching as always, guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a message, and as always, I'll see you next time for another video. Bye-bye.